Child, Awaken an Adult. Hey everyone, Jessie Everett here. I'm a life coach, motivational speaker, and a conscious mom here to help you with your children every day. So I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in. I'm so glad that you're here. I have to be a little bit quiet because it's very late at my house and everybody is sleeping, but I was thinking about this and I wanted to jump on and talk to you guys real quick. So that's a very interesting question, and in my last video I had you write into the comments how an adult can awaken a child. So let's talk about that a little bit today. So our spiritual journeys are unique to us, and our children's are also unique to them. And when we are in the right period of our spiritual journey and we decide to have children of our own, God sends a special spirit into our life, and those special spirits are sent here to help our journey as well as we're there to help them. So not only are we facilitating in their journey, but they're also going to be facilitating in ours. When I talk about them being able to awaken us, it might sound a little bit confusing because when we think about our spiritual journeys, we think about them as our own or their own. We are separate, but the way that the universe works is all energy is connected. So it's not just a coincidence that these children ended up in our lives. I have 4 kids and they are all completely different. Their spiritual journeys are completely different. I still can't quite figure out what they are, but we're having a really fun time in the process. So when I talk about how they can awaken us, let's jump right into it. So any behavior that our children are putting out into the world, whether it be good or bad, whatever that behavior is, it's actually a reflection of ourselves and our inner selves. So when we take a look at those things that maybe we might consider bad, and we observe them and we become aware, and we don't try and control them, we don't try and fix them, we just become aware of them. And what we really need to do is, instead of saying, hey, stop doing that, however you want to discipline your kids, but instead of doing that, or instead of trying to close them off from different experiences, what we need to do is actually just observe and see it, because that's a reflection of something going on in us. That's a time where it's best for us to look inside of ourselves and go, oh my gosh, am I being impatient? Oh my gosh, am I throwing a fit inside right now? Do I have this anger that I see in my children? Anger is an emotion that has a place in our spiritual journey. When you have anger and it's boiling over periodically, that's because it's piled up and piled up and piled up and piled up and piled up. That's not something that happens instantly. Anger takes a while to come to the surface. So if you're seeing that in your children, and maybe you don't do it all the time, you have to remember that your subconscious is running in the background 24/7, and you have all of this stuff under this little tip of the iceberg. You have all this other stuff that you're not even aware about. So take a look at yourself whenever your kids start having different kinds of behaviors. None of our kids are perfect. Let me tell you, this is a journey that I do with my kids every single day. And I'm constantly asking myself, how can I use my children to help me awaken on my journey as well? How can I use my children to further my spiritual journey? So moving on, in my last video, I had you guys write down a question, and that question was, do I recognize every aspect of my parenting as a calling to my higher evolution? I hope that you guys wrote that down and you meditated on it and you really thought about it. I wanted to share a little bit of my experiences with that because I've meditated on it a few times, and so let me just share a piece of that. So when I first started this spiritual journey, I did not recognize every aspect. I could see some things of being like, okay, maybe these kids are here to teach me a few things, right? Maybe this isn't maybe this doesn't have to be as hard as it feels right now, because sometimes when we parent, it can feel really difficult. Am I right? Can I get an amen? Because sometimes you kind of feel like you're at your wit's end. So for me, it took a lot of awareness and it took a lot of meditating for me to consider these things as a calling to a higher purpose. And it's a slow process. Sometimes some issues resolve themselves quicker than others, and some take a little bit longer. And that's okay, because, diamonds, they have to go through a lot to become a diamond, right? And only under really, really high pressure do they get to shine. So just remember that. When you're willing and able to look at these aspects in your kids as your higher purpose, it's an amazing feeling. You start to really feel secure in yourself, to really start to feel confident in life. You start to finally feel like, okay, I think I can do this, right? Because sometimes you feel like you can't. And so looking at your higher evolution is important. It's important for your spiritual growth, and it's important for you to use your kids to help you. Help your kids 100%, but make sure you're putting yourself first. Your journey comes first. So that was last week's video, and I just wanted to give you guys a little share on that. So let's move into this week's question. I hope that you guys have your pen and paper ready to go, because this is going to be a 7-part series, and this is part number 2. So my next question for you guys is, I actually wrote it down, so let me just peek at my notes. But the next question I have for you guys is, dare I go against the stream and parent from a place where the inner life is valued more than the external? I know where I live and in the country that I live in, there's a lot of materialism out in the world. There's a lot of people who are striving just to get money. There's a lot of people out there who feel like they need to have cars and boats and clothes and jewelry and all of this stuff to make them feel better, right? That's the external life. So, dare you move into a life where the inner life is more valued than the external? So, what that really means is our emotions, our inner peace. That's what needs to be valued more than our external life. So trust and believe me on this one, because I've experienced it and I've gone through it myself, that once you really do value who you are and things going on in you, and you're not compromising them for other people, and you're not compromising your inner world for something outside of you, everything on the outside changes. So if you are angry on the inside, then you're going to be getting a lot of that nasty stuff coming back at you. But if you find peace, then you're going to get a lot more peace. It's going to show up in your everyday life. It's going to show up the way people drive their cars next to you. It's going to show up the way of people coming to the grocery store with you. I mean, it's going to be the way your partner talks to you, the way your kids talk to you. And so when you start to value the inner world that you have, your kids are also going to do the same thing, because they mirror you. And it's kind of hard to believe sometimes that it's that easy. I mean, well, easy, but hard to execute, right? Like, it sounds easy, but it might be hard to do. But yeah, I mean, as soon as you start to really value that inner world of yours, and you really start to value how you feel, and that your feelings matter, and that everything is okay. Doesn't matter if you're feeling happy, sad, gleeful, excited, miserable, depressed, everything is okay. You know, all the emotions in your body are showing up for a reason. They're there so that you can work through them and be aware of them and love them unconditionally. One thing that I love to do is, when something comes up in my body, we'll use sadness, because sometimes I get sad. As you guys know, I'm widowed, and that shit comes up all the time. So what I do is I just say, sadness, thank you so much for being here for me. I love you unconditionally, and right now, I know that you've been sent here to protect me all of my life, and I don't need you right now. I can handle this myself. And you go ahead and you put that sadness aside, and but you love it and you acknowledge it, and then you are healing it at the same time, because every time one of these emotions come up, it's so that you can love it and heal it. And as you love and heal yourself, you're also loving and healing your children. And this is where that conscious parenting comes in, because conscious parenting is all about you healing you so that you can take care of your kids, and so that you can heal your kids, so that they can follow their life path and do exactly what they were meant here to do. So I'm so glad that you guys came today to see this video. Like I said, I had this inspiration. I really wanted to hop on here quick. So like this video, dislike this video if you felt like, oh, it was complete crap, which I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you didn't. But also comment down below why you think a child enters this life. I want to know what you guys think. And also comment down below what you need help with your parenting, so that I can go ahead and make videos catered to you. Subscribe to my channel. You need to be notified every time I drop a new video, because I'm dedicated to helping you change your life, and not only your life, but your kids' life as well. Ciao!